Hello class, today we will start a new chapter, right? This chapter talks about how we can import a module and how we can import a package or a library into a new program. Fine. So name of the chapter is, you can see I wrote here, creation of modules and packages. We will see how we can create a module, how we can create a package, and how we can make use of them, in the sense how we can basically import them in a program that I'm going to write. This tells us reusability. Reusability means I already used a program, I have run it, it's working perfectly all right. That program has some functions in it, okay, and at some later date I was writing a different program, but I felt that the previous day, the program which I wrote, from that the functions I can borrow. I am going to write the same code. So the point is, why should I write the same code again? Which I wrote previously, from that program I can borrow the functions, or I can make use of the functions which I wrote. That is the technique we are going to learn in this chapter. So first of all, we have to see what is a module. First of all, we have to understand a module. Okay, you can see I have made a structure of a module here. Basically, a module, you can say it's a complete program or a self-sufficient unit or a complete body, you can say. Fine. Now what all can we have in a module? In a module you can have number of functions. You have done functions, so we can have function 1, function 2, function 3, function 4, as many functions you want depending on the problem you are solving. That many functions it can have. You have also learned the concept of making use of the function through a main part or main body. That also we can have in a module. We can have some global variables. You have learned global variables in class 11 or in 12, right? So these global variables can be the part of module. And also one more thing we can have in a module, that is called class. Okay, this part basically you have not learned. You do not know what a class is. Class is basically a compound data type or a user defined data type. In this kind of thing, what happens? So we create a data, like integer type of data, float type of data. Different types of data are already available in Python library. Now we will see that we can combine all this data together and make a data of our own to represent a real life object. For example, I want to represent a student. So what all do I need to represent a student? If I can put those data together, that will become a class. And also it can have some functions in it. Anyway, let's not waste much time on this, because class, if I get time at the end of this chapter, I will discuss in a basic level, because you do not have a very elaborate use of class in your curriculum. I have not seen it so far, but still I will tell you a brief idea of the class at the later stage of this chapter. For time being, just know that a module can have some functions, it can have some variables, it can also have a class. And if you want to make use of these functions, say you wrote a piece of main function or main body to make use of these functions, that also you can have. Now we saw that after writing a program, in order to run it, we need to save the program, right? So whenever you save a complete program, okay, that is basically what we are calling here as a module. Now when you save a program, for example, you have given a name, whatever, say PQRS. So what will happen? It will be automatically saved as PQRS.py. This particular extension it will have, .py. Fine. So this .py signifies that this whole unit is a module. We will not use the term a complete program. We will say we will use the term module. Fine. So we can say the module is basically a body in a Python where we have some codes written in different functions, or maybe in one function, and we can have also some class, not compulsory. We can have a class declaration over there. So different items we can have in a module. And how do you identify it's a module? Module means it must be saved as a Python file, or it must have an extension .py. And all these functions, variables, class, these all can be called an object. Object 1, object 2, object 3, object 4. So different objects can be made use of from a module if we want to. Fine. Now there is another term which we have to recognize, that is called a package or a library. Package and library are a bigger thing. Okay. Now say I created this kind of 5 modules and I found all these 5 modules are related to each other. Somehow they are in relation with each others. So what I can do, I can make a collection of those 5 modules put together in a folder, and then that folder can be called basically a package or a library. So what will happen in the package and a library? All similar kind of or related kind of modules will be placed together. So let's look at the package. If it is a package or a library, package and library are similar words. Fine. You can either use the words package or you can use the words library in connection with Python. So basically package means it's nothing but simply a folder or a directory where we can have different modules put together. Fine. We can have n number of modules put over there. But always a package structure will not be as simple as that. What you can have is, like you have seen in a folder we can have subfolders. So similarly in a package also we can have subfolders. Like I can have a main folder, say my main folder name is student. Okay. Under the student I can have another folder, say house. Fine. Maybe another folder under house I have, say Everest. Okay. So we can have a structure like this also. We can have subfolders under folders, and all together I can put them into a folder called student. Now this student can have some modules. Here we can have modules. We can have the modules under the house. We can have the modules under this particular module Everest. So we can have a very complex kind of a package also depending on the situation. So what we learned from this, let's quickly revise. Module is a complete unit where we'll get to see the variables, functions, class, right? And if it is a module, then it must be saved with an extension .py. And we learned that if we put related modules together in a folder or in a directory, then we will call it a package or a library. Okay, in the first part of video, just try to understand only this much. Then I will tell you how to make use of them and how to create them.